inventors have yet to develop a high-tech crystal ball that accurately predicts the future. So in the meantime, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas remains our best glimpse into the gadgets and gizmos coming to a store near you. This year's conference featured several varieties of drones, including the Air Dog that hovers above you, filming aerial videos of your every move. Kind of a terrifying prospect. There were also a number of self-driving vehicles on display from car makers like BMW, Audi, and Mercedes. The week-long event showcased some 3,200 exhibits. And my next guest is now recovering from a combination of information overload and jet lag. Hiawatha Bray is a tech writer, technology writer for the Boston Globe, and the author of You Are Here. Hiawatha, welcome back to Greater Boston.
Glad to be here.
All right, let's talk about some of your favorite items from the CES. The Yotaphone 2. Tell me what the Yotaphone 2 is.
Yota is a Russian company. Yota Devices is its name, and they snuck up on us with what I thought was the coolest cell phone that I saw at the whole show. They came up with a really brilliant idea that seems almost obvious when you think about it. Why not a two-sided cell phone with screens on both sides?
Now, why would we need that?
Because one of them is a standard color screen, and the one on the back is e-ink, the technology invented in Cambridge for use with those e-book readers. E-ink is brilliant, of course, because it uses almost no electric power, except when you change the screen. When it's changing, it uses power. Once the image is on the screen, it stops using electricity. So if you use the e-ink screen on this phone, the battery life is extended for several days at least. You get very long battery life.
And is this just, you would flip it over?
Yeah,
to go
turn
from
it
e-ink
over.
to standing?
It's just the opposite side. Now, this phone is already on sale in Britain. It's already on sale in Europe. It's supposed to come to the United States in the second half of the year. And I thought it was one of the coolest innovations in cell phones I've seen in a long time. And it's out of Russia. Can you believe this? I mean, it's really great.
How about the iTribe Tracker?
iTribe Tracker, I'm not so sure that's as practical, but it's really interesting and it really works. It's the idea that you could have a tablet computer where you can actually control key functions of the tablet by looking at it. It actually it actually tracks your eyes, and you can look at the tablet and play games like Fruit Ninja, you know, the game where you're slashing the fruit. You'll look at the fruit, bang, it's dead. You'll look at something, bang, it's gone. It's really amazing, and it really works. Now, they're saying that right now it's like a $100 or so kit, but they're only selling it to developers because what they really want to do is talk to tablet developers and have the technology built right into the tablets, so that future tablets, you'll look at them and you'll be able to literally control them by looking at them. And I'm not sure if it's the most essential tool in the world, but I gotta say I was very impressed by how accurate it is. It actually sees exactly what you're looking at on the screen.
All right, shifting to the slightly comedic, perhaps, not to make light of the tragedy of hair loss.
No, you're supposed to say, but wait, there's more.
The iGrow helmet.
Tell us about the iGrow helmet. No, it is not from the guy who gave us hair in a can, but it does have that same sort of feel to it. It is a helmet that you put on your head that exposes it to low light therapy, as it is called, and they claim they have double-blind, peer-reviewed studies.
I'm convinced by the graphic.
There you go. What more do you need? There you go. And they've got double-blind studies proving that this is going to grow hair.
And if you're not satisfied with the iGrow helmet, I know you wrote they'll take it back.
They'll take it back with an almost full refund.
All right, let's talk about a few more things. What is this Pono music system?
Well, I thought that one was really cool because of the local connection. Pono is this really interesting idea developed by Neil Young. Yeah, you know, the guy with the guitar and everything, Tin Soldiers and Nixon's Coming. Yeah, that Neil Young. He wanted to make a really good digital music player because he said the existing ones just weren't that good, including the iPod. He doesn't like it. But he doesn't know how to develop technology. So he called a guy from Worcester who he's been developing products for 40 years. He helped develop the SX70 Polaroid camera. He helped develop the Newton for Apple and so on. And together they have built this music player, and I've listened to it, and it's called Pono, and it produces ultra-high fidelity music.
This is a handheld player.
This is a handheld player. You have to buy the music from their store. Standard MP3s don't sound that good, although you can play standard MP3s on this. But to get the full effect, you buy their versions, and they have remastered ultra-high fidelity recordings of all kinds of music. You buy it from their store. This device costs like $400, and the music is pretty expensive too, but it's for people who are absolute music fanatics.
So this is sort of for the people who 20 or 30 years ago were buying Bang & Olufsen and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Okay. It's hardcore stuff.
We have been hearing about the Internet of Things for years now. How big a presence were items related to the Internet of Things?
Immense, almost to the point of being scary. What's basically happening is we're moving into a world where almost anything that has electrons flowing through it is also going to have an internet address. They now have cheap wireless technologies, cheap processors, cheap memory, and the result is that almost every device they talk about in this show, They're talking about how, oh, it'll talk to your smartphone. It'll talk to your home network. I mean, you got the washer-dryer combination from Whirlpool, where it had, you know, the Nest thermostat that developed that.
Which you can adjust remotely,
You
right?
can adjust remotely, but not only that, Nest keeps track on whether or not you're in the house. It has motion trackers, so it knows if anybody's home. This washer and dryer now talk to the Nest. So if you're not home, the dryer will automatically slow down and dry clothes at a cooler temperature because it knows you're not home. And nobody asks you. You're not asked. The dryer and the thermostat decide it between themselves.
Yeah, I know you're a high-tech guy.
It's amazing.
Does it kind of creep you out a little bit, that
Absolutely.
sort of thing?
No,
All your appliances talk?
It does. It should. It's already been proven that the Nest thermostat, all the data it stores about your behavior can be hacked, can be broken into.
Yeesh.
I love this stuff, but you've got to make sure that these systems are very, very secure. And I mean, we just found out that the U.S. Army can't even keep its Twitter account secure. They ISIS broke into it.
Well, it only took them 40 minutes, right?
Well, there you go. I mean, that's scary.
And drones. We heard about the AirDog drone that's going to hover over you, monitoring everything you do.
Everywhere, an amazing technology, but it's interesting to note that all the leading drone companies seem to be Chinese or French. The French Parrot is a major company. GoPro, the American camera company, there's a rumor that they're going to go into the drone business, but they were expected to announce it, but they didn't. However, what all the drone makers are really ticked off about is American regulations limiting the use of drones for commercial applications. In other parts of the world, they're already being used to do things like inspecting power lines or examining farm fields to see if, you know, how the crops are doing. You can't really do that here without a special exemption
Maybe
in
some
the US.
movement since CNN just made a deal with the FAA, for better or worse.
Yeah, we ought to at least let drones be used for not low-risk areas like where there's a low population density, and let them just...
We got to leave it there. That is fantastic stuff. Thank you, Hiawatha.
Glad to be here.